Yo, what's good, everybody? My name is Cosmic, and I want to welcome you to my channel, Opinion Stated, where I give unfiltered, opinionated sports takes. Let's go. Yo, what's good, everybody? My name is Cosmic. I want to welcome you back to my channel, Opinion Stated, and oh man, this episode right here, holy smokes. So I am using the terminology or using the connotation, I guess, of how the kids use it today, man. I'm shook, you know what I mean? Like, I was shook with this news here. This episode, if you've already seen the thumbnail, you know exactly what direction I'm headed into. Before I dive into the content, though, if you haven't, please like the video for me really quick. Liking the video helps us cruise along algorithm avenue, helps this kind of content get into the presence of those much like yourself who are interested in this kind of content. And subscribe to the channel as well to be notified as to when the newest episodes are uploaded. Click the notification bell also. Listen, this episode, I'm diving right into this content. I want to say, I had to fact check this a couple times. You know what I mean? Shout out to the homie Isaiah who sent this to the fellas group chat. And I looked at it a couple times and I was like, what? Come on, bro. Like, what? This fake. Is this real? And so I had to fact check. I didn't even respond to the group, for it. They were going crazy. You know what I mean? And I didn't even respond to the text, man, for like an hour. Like, I honestly, I didn't even respond to it. It took like an hour for me to respond. But I need to fact check this to make sure that it was official before I brought it to you guys. And let me stop fucking rambling. This episode, I'm going to entitle Luka for AD. The what the fuck trade of the century, yo. So, man, happy February. My very first video of 2025. First video in January uploaded for the new year was AD is, sick of his Laker teammates, right? So I would love to say, I fucking told you so. I told y'all, man. This dude did not want to be in LA. I think he was sick of playing, second fiddle to LeBron. You know what I mean? Like, sick of JJ Redick not knowing what he's doing as a coach, just being all over the place from one game to the next. This dude was clearly frustrated. Started out the season to Anthony Davis, you know what I mean? Like, as a front runner, you know what I mean? With his scoring and his rebound output, blocks, etc. Man, like, man, this dude looked like he was the early MVP front runner. And his numbers have tailed off a little bit, you know what I mean, since. Production still pretty solid, though. But, yeah, man, like, I can't believe, honestly, I cannot believe that the Dallas Mavericks have traded Luka Doncic to LA for Anthony Davis. Now, there are a number of things about this trade that are just kind of like really super mind blowing for me. And primarily it's because I understood, obviously, that the dinosaur is almost up out of there. You know what I mean? Like, he's on borrowed time. Anthony Davis, as it's been stated for years, it was the next up. And so LeBron was supposed to be turning over the keys to the franchise to AD, but AD didn't really seem to have that, I don't know, sometimes desire, you know what I mean? Sometimes the motor, sometimes the je ne sais quoi, you know what I mean? To just like be the dude, be that guy, to be the number one option for a franchise and for the Lakers franchise. Maybe it was because LeBron was in the way, who knows? But he just didn't appear to be, the dude that was just going to step into that role. And, obviously Luka Doncic is a very young basketball player, only 25 years old. From the time that he spent here in the NBA, man, he has been doing, just a phenomenal job as a basketball player, putting up numbers and putting on the show. And so, I was, in saying this, I understanding that LeBron was on the way out. AD didn't look like he was that guy. I'm like, the Lakers are always making a huge play, man, for a megastar. I'm like, where's their next megastar, deal going to come from? Because I didn't foresee, any of the big name free agents or the big name players in the league just opting to go to LA, you know what I mean, just because. However, now that's been kind of removed, so it doesn't even have to happen this way. AD has been traded to the Dallas Mavericks for Luka Doncic, so that puts a superstar in Luka Doncic in a Los Angeles Lakers uniform, and LA Laker Nation is probably going batshit right now. I have no idea how they feel about the trade, but again, before I get into too much more of my personal opinion, you know, I want to get into some articles because I had to fact check this beforehand. So I still feel like, again, this is so mind blowing that I don't even feel like it's real. You know what I mean? Like, is this real? But in fact checking, I found a few articles that I want to get into here really quickly. And the first article is from Yahoo Sports. You know, so if I should happen to wake up tomorrow morning and, you know, find out that this was a hoax, I'm going to let y'all know that, you know what I mean? It's not just me up here reporting misinformation, you know, willy-nilly. I'm going to blame Yahoo Sports and CBSSports.com. You know what I'm saying? I'm also going to blame my lady because I was going to go to bed and then I told her what the fellas were doing in the group chat. And she was like, what? You going to go to sleep? That's a huge story. You got to do a video. So shout out to my lady for encouraging me to get on this. But in this Yahoo Sports article, man, Yahoo Sports, Lakers trade Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic in one of the most shocking deals in NBA history. This article was penned by Jack Baer. The Los Angeles Lakers beat the New York Knicks on Saturday, then made one of the most shocking deals in NBA history. The Lakers are sending Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a first-round pick to the Dallas Mavericks in exchange for Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris in a three-team deal that also includes the Utah Jazz, according to ESPN's Shams Charania. News of the trade was so jarring that many speculated Charania's account could have been hacked, but reporters from both the Los Angeles Times and the Dallas Morning News quickly confirmed it. There was no prior indication that either team was looking to move an all-star. So again, I'm telling you, it wasn't just me. Like everybody's like, bro, this ain't real. This can't be real, right? But I love that last sentence, that there was no prior indication that either team was looking to move an all-star. So before I get back into the article, I want to say this so I don't forget it. I'm all for player empowerment. I'm all for it, bro. Please don't get me wrong. I love that players get a chance to call their shots, you know what I mean, for better or worse. It seems to have been to the detriment of the league, really and truly. But I'm a huge fan of GMs pulling moves that aren't telegraphed. I like it, man. It adds to the mystique of the league. It adds to the excitement of you know what I mean? Like craziness that's happening, you know what I mean, in my head and maybe in yours as you find out about the information if you know what I mean, are viewing this information firsthand, watching this video. But I love it when the GMs just shock us with something crazy. And I do feel like this is one of the utterly the most ridiculous and shocking trades in NBA history. It's like I would not have, if I had to guess two players that might be traded for each other, it certainly would not have been them. But I had no idea that Dallas or LA, as the article states, were looking to shop. You know what I mean? Like their key cog. And so back to the article, Mark Stein reported that Doncic did not request a trade, and it was in fact the Mavericks who approached the Lakers about the league-altering deal. Wow. The move reportedly blindsided Doncic. Even LeBron James, with his reputation as a Lakers de facto GM, was reportedly out at dinner when the trade hit and had no idea it was coming. Gotcha, bitch. I love it, bro. Way to go, Nico. It's hard to think of a trade with anything close to a precedent to Saturday's blockbuster. Superstars have been traded for each other before, but never mid-season and rarely with no request from either side. The deal swaps out Davis for Doncic as James's co-star, though it may be more accurate to say Doncic will be the star long-term. Doncic is currently out with a calf injury, but has made 5 straight All-NBA first teams at 25 years old. The Lakers were facing a potential slide over the next few years as both James and Davis aged, but this changes everything. Davis is reportedly waiving his trade kicker for the deal to go through, which will push the Mavericks under the luxury tax. As for the Mavericks side, they are moving on from a player their fans never expected to leave, and they don't seem to be receiving much beyond Davis, a player who can impact a game on both ends of the floor, but has rarely succeeded as a team's offensive focal point. Mavericks general manager Nico Harrison defended the move with a tried and true line via ESPN's Tim McMahon. I believe that defense wins championships, Mavs GM Nico Harrison told ESPN regarding his motivation to trade Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis. I believe that getting an all-star defensive center and an all-NBA player with a defensive mindset gives us a better chance. We're built to win now and in the future. Talk that talk, Nico. Other rationalizations for the deal emerged soon after. McMahon reported Dallas had concerns about Doncic's conditioning, which has been his main issue as an NBA player, and is approaching negotiations for a supermax deal. Doncic has 2 years left on his current deal after this season. Doncic was eligible for a 5-year, $345 million supermax deal with this summer, but is now no longer supermax eligible. So this is like they pulled the rug from under this young man's feet, because he was eligible for a supermax this summer had he stayed in Dallas, but according to this article, because they traded him, he is no longer eligible, bro. That's crazy. Davis, who turns 32 next month, will take over down low with Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, and PJ Washington around him. Man, Dallas just became solid, man. I can't even be mad at this move, bro. That AD is a really, really good piece for what they have. This is powerful. Davis also gets his wish to play alongside an actual center in Daniel Gafford. Yeah, Dallas. Wow. The deal completely alters the Lakers' long-term outlook, swapping out their most important defensive player for one of the most talented players in the league, but also one who usually needs the ball in his hands to be impactful. It might not make them better for this year, but it gives them something to look forward to once James retires, which they simply didn't have. I don't know how I have no idea how Luka Doncic, who's ball dominant, and LeBron James, who's ball dominant, like two ball-centric players, are going to coexist. They both need the ball in their hand, bro. You know what I mean? So, and neither of them play defense. So there's no way in my mind, I'm going to sidestep the actual trade between Doncic and Anthony Davis and say, I think LeBron James is next. I think they're going to move him. They have to. LeBron and Bronny about to be packaged up to go somewhere else. He might be going to go ahead and go to G-State as he requested earlier this season, because it doesn't make sense for them to keep LeBron and after getting rid of AD. And I know he's going to be disgruntled. You know what I mean? There's no way that he can jump on the phone with Rich if they blindsided them and made this move without even letting them know that Rich getting his clients up out of there. It's going to be crazy. But I think LeBron is out of there. Because him and Luka just feel like, that doesn't even make sense. It literally makes no sense. Oddly enough, I was watching the New York, the game, the Lakers versus Knicks game earlier. And, surprisingly, they beat the Knicks. I figured the Knicks would beat them by like 20. And, they snapped the Knicks 5-game win streak and they won the game. And I was thinking, like, after the game, just kind of flippant, jokingly, right? Like, man, they won without AD, man. I don't even need AD. And goddamn, a couple hours later, this joker is traded to the Dallas Mavericks, man. So I want to back up and say, something that has really been bothering me a lot about, trades, especially in recent years, because I don't recall this ever being a thing prior to recently. When did it become okay to trade players that are hurt? Like, you used to have to pass folks who've been watching the game long enough understand what I'm talking about. Players used to have to pass a physical as a condition of the trade. But now in the middle of an injury, they're trading players. Where I have never seen this. Prior to now, but like, when did this become a thing? When did it become okay? It's really wild to me. But anyway, this is crazy. So again, I said I had 2 articles that I wanted to kind of run through, just kind of fact check, because some give some details and some information that, you know what I mean, obviously we need to be in the know about. This next article is from CBSSports.com, and it is entitled, Lakers Trade Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic in Shocking NBA Blockbuster with Mavericks and Jazz, per reports. And this CBSSports.com article was penned by Jack Maloney. The Dallas Mavericks have agreed to trade Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers in exchange for Anthony Davis in a shocking blockbuster trade that also involves the Utah Jazz, according to multiple reports. Maxi Kleber and Markieff Morris will also go to the Lakers, while Max Christie and the Lakers' 2029 first-round pick will head to the Mavericks. Man, they just traded Max Christie too. That's crazy. The Jazz will receive Jalen Hood-Schifino, a 2025 second-round pick via the Los Angeles Clippers, and the Mavericks' 2025 second-round pick in the trade, first reported by ESPN. This is one of the most substantial and surprising trades in NBA history, and will alter the course of the two franchises. From the Mavericks' perspective, this is particularly shocking. Doncic, 25, has been one of the league's best players since entering the league in 2018. He has made 5 consecutive All-NBA first teams and led the Mavericks to the NBA Finals just last season, where they fell to the Boston Celtics. For his career, he's averaged 28.6 points, 8.7 rebounds, and 8.3 assists per game, while shooting 47% from the field, and is widely regarded as one of the 5 best players in the world. Players of his caliber rarely get traded unless they force their way out of town, per Mark Stein. Doncic did not make such a request. But for all of Doncic's gifts, his poor defense, which stuck out in the finals, and regular conditioning issues were too much for Mavericks general manager Nico Harrison to overlook. Doncic has been sidelined since Christmas due to a calf injury and has never played more than 72 games in a season. They just traded one injury-prone player for another one, man. But I believe that defense wins championships. Harrison told ESPN about the decision to trade Doncic. I believe that getting an all-defensive center and an all-NBA player with a defensive mindset gives us a better chance. We're built to win now and in the future. The Mavericks will now look to move forward with a Davis-Kyrie Irving pairing. That's going to be tough. Those two have a chance to be a dynamite combination, and they have a balanced roster around them. It seems that Dallas could have gotten more for Doncic. However, and if health and conditioning was a concern with him, well, they certainly didn't solve it by adding Davis, who currently is nursing a foot injury, or though he's coming off of the healthiest season of his career in 2023-2024, 76 games played. I thought he had an abdominal issue, so maybe that's a misstatement in this article, unless AD actually has a foot injury. I don't know. I thought he had like an ab strain or something like that. At 26-23, the Mavericks sit in 9th place in the crowded Western Conference. Once they are 2.5 games back of a top 6 seed and guaranteed playoff spot, and 1.5 games ahead of 11th place and missing out on the play-in tournament entirely. For the Lakers, the Mavericks' concerns were their gain. In Doncic, they now have a young superstar who can be the face of their franchise for the next decade. Any concerns about what may happen to the organization once LeBron retires have just evaporated. Fuck out of there, LeBron. As for the present, the Lakers now have 2 of the most gifted offensive players in the league. James, even at 40, can still dial it up from time to time, as he showed hours before the trade when he dropped a triple-double in a win over the red-hot New York Knicks. He cannot do so every night, however. And with Doncic by his side, James will have more of a chance to pick and choose his spots, which should keep him fresh until and during the playoffs. The Lakers have won 8 of their last 10 to climb to 5th place in the West at 28-19, but were generally not considered true title threats due to James's age and their lack of offensive creation and poor defense. Although they played great defense in that Knicks game, man. Great all-around team defense. Kudos to the Lakers players for the defense that they played on Cat and Brunson, and the Knicks just kind of disrupting them. It was very scrappy. You know what I mean? They got out to the loose balls. They helped. You know what I mean? They slid into place properly, even when they got caught in switches. You know what I mean? Like the men were kind of trying to fight over picks. You know what I mean? Like quickly, if they had to go under screen, quickly, showing to make sure that they didn't give up the lane. It was dope to watch. Like seriously, it was dope to watch. But back to the article. Losing Davis certainly hurts the latter, but the former will no longer be an issue. Are James and Doncic enough to truly contend? We'll soon find out. We'll soon find out. Woo, man. Let's take a look at, like this graphic here. And, this graphic just kind of shows statistically, how both Luka and Anthony Davis, fare this present season. Again, Luka, 28 points per game, 8.3 rebounds, 7.8 assists, 0.4 blocks on 46.4% shooting. So he's having a great season. He's having a Luka Doncic, statistical kind of season, although he hasn't played since Christmas. So that's just generally 2 months. But, hopefully, obviously, he'll have to come back sometime soon because they just traded him. You can't trade away an asset that ain't going to play at all. Well, I imagine he's not out for the season, right? So Anthony Davis, taking a look at his numbers, 25.7 points a game is where he presently sits for the season, 11.9 rebounds, 3.4 assists, 2.1 blocks on 52.8% shooting. So, both are having an incredible year, but on injury reserve. So I guess you trade one broken player for another broken player. Maybe that's in the CBA or something. I don't know. But again, man, I thought that it was a very interesting trade. I'm excited. I'm still kind of mind blown about it. And I just wanted to produce some content to break the news to those who weren't aware, but also to, go on record with some of the other things that I talked about in this episode. So if you don't agree with, most of my opinions stated, I don't have a problem with that. Drop your opinion in the comments. That's been the basis of this particular episode, man. I want to thank you guys for, checking it out. I'll catch you in the next episode, of course. If you haven't, once again, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Until then, take care of yourselves. Blessings.